voices inside my head. See voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog. We fighting above the law.
Hello. Hey, Dalen. Now, did I put slow mode on? Because it's jumping already. Sorry. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Let me just double check. Hey, Wandering. Hey, Vicky. Dodie, Chatty Jen, Dalen. Hi, Karen. Wandering Hearts, Heathen, Canadian Cookie, Gemini. Frankie, hello. I'm so sorry I pushed it out. Dalen, new picture. You're so pretty. Hey, Vexing. Hey, Punxie. Hi, Piper. Aussie. Tickety Boo. Doing great. Hope everyone's doing good. Hey, Bobby. Hope you're okay. Hi, Justice. Beverly. Hello, everyone coming in. Let's go back to the top here. See who. Punxie. I think it's welcome back to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. So let me just double check slow mode. I just want to be able to keep up with y'all. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I do not. All right, so I'm just going to let's just put it at 10. We'll do 11. How about that? 11 seconds. I know y'all hate that. I'm sorry. Punxie, welcome back to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. Hey, Lil Wang, Sweet Sativa. Hey, Zena. Trulia. Holly, welcome to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Hey, Lou. Totally that eyeshadow. Totally Jody RuPaul. My eyeshadow? I just put on a little. oh, Jody's eyeshadow. Ugh. Yeah, RuPaul looks better than that. I like RuPaul. So, you guys, yesterday was the platform's birthday. I didn't even know. So, I was a part of the community. Vexing, thank you. I've got lip gloss on. So, in about 2 hours, we have 2, maybe 3 places to walk through tonight. So, Mr. and I are going to get some dinner somewhere and go walking around some places. Tammy Ayo, thank you. Hey, crimes have consequences. Bam Fan, Sparker, Beverly. So yeah, 5 years total being a part of the true crime community, but 3 years yesterday of being a fellow creator, I guess is what we are called. So that's a blessing. It's so excited. I'm excited because I had no idea I'd still be here today. So yeah. Thank you. The brother Fetters. Now, I know I've gotten some people like, Fetters is awful. If you support him, I'm unsubbing. Bye. Like, I don't care. Like a lot of people that didn't want me supporting Benny either. It's like, I don't care. I am going on 39 years old next month. I support who I want. I befriend who I want. Ain't nobody going to tell me different. I thank you. Bye-bye. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Fetters, you should be blue, by the way. I'd like to make sure. Gavel, hey, boo. Oh my gosh, Dr. Phil, thank you. Oh my gosh, Gavel became a member. Oh my gosh. Fangirling. Thank you so much. Choo choo. Wow. Robin Slack, I think it's a welcome back, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like you've been a member before. Either way, welcome to the Crazy Train or welcome back to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. There's no seatbelts. There's no exits. Well, there is exits. Hi, Pink Butterfly. Queenie. Breaking Feathers. There you are, brother. No, you're not. You're not. And I appreciate people that are transparent humans, even though they can be taken down for that. I, for one, appreciate that. So, I'd love to collab sometime. I'm free all this weekend. If you hit me up, let me know when works. I'm pretty flexible for collabs. So whenever you have the time, we'll do that, because there's a lot I'd like to discuss. You might know a little bit about my dad and that. So Punxie, thank you. Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you. Thor's in here. Thor, you're blue, right? Hey, Chrissy G, coffee, not tea. Good to see you. My YouTube has no membership button. The memberships are in, I think I've been adding it to my description lately. Because, yeah, I've had some people say that. And another blessing, I am so excited, you guys. I opened up my life coaching today. I put the information out last night, and I officially have 3 clients as of today. So pretty excited. And what I will say is nobody will know who I am life coaching unless they tell people. I'm going to keep everything confidential, but what I will be doing, I want to try and do it once a week, or at least once every other week, is I will be having private, the members only type lives for anyone. I'm going to have it open, almost not like a AA meeting type virtual, but just if there are people who don't care, it's going to be open for anyone that I'm life coaching. And once a week, I'll be live and I'll just be in the room. It's not going to be live, though. I should clear that up. Oh, I'm frozen. Okay. It's not going to be live. It's actually going to be private, but it's going to be like a meeting where anyone I'm life coaching is welcome to show up for that hour that I am in the studio, and it will just be private between me and anyone who is okay with each other knowing that I'm life coaching them. So it'll just be kind of open, like a virtual meeting. Yeah, but again, I'd like everything to stay as private as possible. Killer! I hope you and the missus are doing good. I look wonderful. Thank you. I don't know about that, but thank you. So today, I want to get back to another suspect, in my opinion, a person of interest. There hasn't been anything new, but we are in October, and Summer Wells' father should be released from jail at the end of the month this month, right? Yes, thank you. Crimes have consequences. Anything case related, true crime related, or wrongful convictions related. Oh my gosh, look at. Oh, word. What? Ah, that's sick. Look at that. Ooh, yeah, I'm invisible. Okay, just kidding. Sorry. Thank you, Road Less Travel. And then the email for if you're interested in my life coaching packages, I'm willing to work with people on that. And that is Livinglifewithcher at yahoo.com. So trying to keep that separate. Hey, Annabelle, Sonia, Squids, good to see you. Hummingbird. Life coach always reminds me of the TV show, Mom. Yeah, I love that show. Hey, Tanya. People don't forget the show Squirrel Girl and Cotton Candy. Our support, absolutely. Y'all are amazing. All right, so let's discuss person of interest, the neighbor to summermoonutahwells. For people that are newer to Summer's case and met me more through maybe going through some of the suspects in Kylie Rodney case. A quick recap for you on summermoonutahwells is June 15th, 2021. She was reported missing at about 6:30 p.m. I believe about 6:29, 6:28 p.m. June 15th, 2021. She was last seen with her mother, grandmother, and 3 brothers at her house on her hill. So it's to believe she was kidnapped out of the basement or the backyard of her house. As we all know, stories have changed from everybody involved, mom, dad, grandma, and the neighbors. One of the neighbors is currently in jail for possessing child pornography. One neighbor is currently living in a box somewhere else because her and her ex broke up, and her name is Jody Sue Brown. Jody Sue has been giving fake and unfounded information from day one. She came on the scene saying that if anyone is going to make money off of summermoonutahwells' name, it should be her. And she's also let loose that she knew that not just Summer, but other children were being drugged so that they could be molested and raped. We're not going to sugarcoat or put in trigger warning. We're speaking truth here. And that she knew about it and did nothing. In fact, the person she claims, her baby daddy and ex of, I want to say, was it 26 years or 16 years, something? They were together for many years. She claimed he was the one doing that. However, in saying that, we have learned that it was probably her shit that was going there. And also, let's say that that is to be a true thing, that it was her baby daddy doing these things. She admitted to knowing it was happening and allowing it to happen and never turning it in. Instead, she begged this man, this monster, and Andy, I'm sorry, I'm repeating, so I'll do this because I don't know enough about you to know how I really feel. Do I think some things that you say doesn't add up? Yeah, but I feel that way with everyone. I've also been very jaded. However, between the two of Andy Bernard and Jody Sue, I'm more inclined to believe Andy Bernard. And in fact, even that letter, whether you take it with a grain of salt or not, doesn't say anything about Andy Bernard. So, yeah, I would like to start at the beginning. So I am going to play some Jody Sue. Trigger warning, please pull over if you're driving. Please pull over if you're a passenger, or ask get the fuck out of the car where you can sit and be safe. And definitely remember, it's not a good idea to listen to her as a passenger on a motorcycle either. You could fall asleep and fall off that bitch. Patty Ponytail, good to see you. Hey, hair gal, good to see you. Yeah, she's all about summer, ain't she? So, I'd like to kind of start at the beginning. For those who don't really know, we kind of been wondering, like, who has the motive? And a lot of us that know the case know, well, that would be Jody Sue, because before summermoonutahwells was reported missing, Jody Sue, the neighbor, has had issues with Summer's entire family. She did not want them living there. She was trying to buy an acre of their property and actually wanted all of their property. Now, it's to be said that when Candace went back, because she could not sell the property without Dawn's okay, and Dawn's like, hell no, right? That there was some revenge wanted. Not only that, we know, because she somehow thinks it's receipts that she herself has shown, that she was quite all right when Summer went missing, and that she was hoping that that meant the whole family would just be gone now. If that don't sound like motive to me, and the whole fight over property lines, and before Summer's reported missing, and this bitch actually says somebody will die over this shit, and then boom, Summer's gone missing, and then boom, we have this liar of a monster of a neighbor who changed her story. At first was backing Dawn and Candace, then quickly threw them under the bus to it's all them, blah, blah, blah. Well, bitch, no, we aren't going there. We've known from the beginning that it's probably you involved, which kind of makes me feel a little bit shitty, but at the same time, not really shitty, is that it is quite possible Dawn and Candace are actually innocent of Summer being gone. Not innocent, not to be mistaken, not innocent of being shitty parents and abusive parents, but that would be why they have the guilty knowledge but keep their mouth shut, because it's probably that these neighbors, it's been said that maybe Candace has information on Dawn, that's why Dawn doesn't talk or whatever. It could be that this monster neighbor has some kind of proof or something like that on both of these shitty parents that, well, everybody would be in trouble. Everybody'd be going to jail, right? Or prison, actually. So that could be another reason why everyone is right. So, and everybody be suspect in that area. Kim Maple, hello. Deets on the street. Everyone make sure you're sub. And if you catch yourself being on that channel, I think you was in trouble. Sharon, good to see you. Gavel said so. She's the main reason this case is in the shape it's in. I agree. I think so. Well, they all are. They all are crazy. The least crazy one has been Andy, and he's apparently the monster. Those receipts always prove a different awful thing she has done. Oh, yeah, her receipts are supposed to out everybody else, but they sure as shit don't make her look good, do they? Katie Ross, welcome to the Crazy Train. Choo-choo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. And Beverly Vineyard, that's a pretty name for one. And thank you for joining the Crazy Train. Choo-choo. I appreciate you guys. So, are you ready? Because I'd like to bring it back. We're not going to go all the way back to Facebook tonight, but we are going to be doing that this week. What we are going to do is bring it back to the very beginning of her YouTubes. And I know you guys are probably sick of it, but you know what? It's time. It's time to go back. Oh, shit. Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh, she's got, okay. Oh, wow. All right. So I'm behind. I went through the almost 5 hours of the all I can do is laugh, bless your heart. But now I've got almost 7 hours for, is that bad? Okay. Well, we may have to do like an all night marathon, 24-hour Jody Sue stream. Wonder if Tiffany Marie would, you know what? We should get a couple, maybe we could do like an all weekend marathon, start at the beginning, and a couple of us, like me, Gavel, maybe Benny, Tiffany Marie, we can take turns hosting, so we each get a little bit of a break. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Thought it was odd when Boog joined the military and Mom didn't freak out. Yeah, that kind of quickly happened, didn't it? Have a good day at work, Ange. Getting ready for work. I'll be on replay crew later. Much love. Much love to you. Justice at ChəR watched an interview a day ago on Dolly's with a lady named Ivy's mom. She had a vision that Summer could be sold. Very interesting. She did talk about the church. Yep. It would be good to go. We can go back through everything from the beginning. So I can see that, person of interest, Jody Sue, has been extra shook. I just can't get over extra shook lately. Sorry, guys. I wish that was like a real sparker. Hey, Aussie True Crime, 24 hours of Jody Sue. We'd definitely be asleep. Ain't that the truth? At ChəR, I asked Andy whose idea it was to look for Jackie Dobbs. I also asked whose idea it was on July 4th to look for Summer by the bridge. And of course, he said it was Jody Sue's idea for both of them. I can believe that. I believe that. I'm not sure what it is. Do I believe everything Andy says? No, not really. But I'm more inclined to listen and be. I have him above Jody Sue, if that makes sense. I don't mind the guy. He does answer, but I have noticed, if I'm being honest, there are some harder questions I feel he doesn't answer. I think that's fair to say. I will say Jody Sue, Blue, Roof, Dawn, Candace, and Grandis was all there making up this whole story. Hey, beautiful Tiffany Marie. I'm here listening and shared it out on my community post. I'm here, just can't type. Thank you. Thank you. There's one thing. I mean, Summer is a very, very powerful little girl, whether she is passed or not. Her energy has brought together people I never in a million years thought I'd ever see paneling up together, mods for each other, things like that. I think at first everyone got passionate and very guarded in our own ways, but I have to say it's been very good to also see what Summer's energy has really done amongst creators who have all pulled together for her in their own way, come together and pull together for her together. I love it every time I see it. Like, never in a million years have I ever thought me and Tiffany Marie would be cool. You know what I'm saying? So her energy's strong. So we have to have, and killer looks. I credit you, brother. You know that. Your little reminders being dropped just respectfully everywhere was much needed. Tiffany, I still got that necklace. I got to get it out. I've been horrible. Just lots going on and depressions here and there. It's just been blah. But I want to give it to you because, for one, that would piss Jody Sue off. And I'm not much of a necklace girl. So it was bought for Summer, originally for Candace, if you remember, handmade. And Candace said when she got it, she was going to put it in the fire. And I heard she burned other things that people sent her as well. So we're going to be packing up soon. And when we do that, I am going to send this out to you. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, I had this handmade by somebody, I think, in California. So I think it'd look gorgeous on Tiffany. I was going to send this out to her before and totally spaced. So would you email me your address again, please? And I will get that out to you by the weekend so that I don't have to pack it and maybe damage it. Love, love, love it. It is beautiful. And I can't believe she didn't want it, but oh well. Hey, Cousin Tracy. Hey, everyone. All right. I am going to pull up Jody Sue. Like I said, if you are driving, please pull over or listen later when you're at home to safety. Okay. How's the mic sound today, you guys, by the way? Is it okay? I know we've been having some kind of issues with that in the camera, but yes, we are moving. We don't know where yet, but tonight we're walking through 2, possibly 3 different places. So yeah, we're going to go, I think, to like Dairy Queen or something and I'm going to get a poutine for dinner. And then we're going to go walk around a few places. There's actually, I didn't think I'd be in an apartment type, but there's a couple apartments that are currently being renovated. Will be ready for November 1st and really pretty. Not a lot of space for when we have all of the kids. However, when my daughters get here, I know they're eager to get their papers to start working because they would like to get their own apartment. So, but you know what? We could be squished like sardines for a little while. I'll be happy with it because I miss them. And as of 72 hours ago, the Canadian borders finally dropped all COVID restrictions. So my kids who are anti-vax as well as I am are happy. They were willing to get the vaccines to come here, but now they don't have to. So that's pretty exciting. So all right, we're going to start. Like I said, we're going to bring it back. We're going to start with number 1. Again, summer. Summer. It's all about summer. But I will say I don't think summer's mentioned even one time in here. But we got the closed captions. That'll make it a little bit fun. and we will speed her up. I know it sucks. We are going to speed her up 1.5. I think that should be good. I think that should be good. Yes, thank you, Tiffany. Please do, and I promise I'll get that out to you by the weekend. And I'd love, love, love some pictures of you in it when you get it. Am I sharing my screen? Sorry, y'all. Share's a little spacey right now. All right, here we go. Perfection. Okay, make sure I got that turned down. Put that right there. Okay.
I'm not very sure how to begin, but some of you know me in here. Some of you are family members of mine, cousins, etc. Some of you, until very recently, were my neighbors and community members. Still love you guys. And, you know, I'll come see you soonish. For others, since there's so many in here that are scattered around the world, I know some have seen some of my comments. I know there's so many posts that a lot gets shuffled around and, you know, missed. Anyway, I feel like it's been weighing on me for a while, especially as the days keep marching on, and I feel like summer has kind of been lost in the shuffle of things.
Yeah, we're going. Oh, you think Summer? There's Summer's name. You think Summer has been lost in the shuffle of things? Do ya? Deets on the streets. Yeah, we're going way back. We're going way back. Sir Coolbox, welcome. All about summer hearing aids recommended. Yeah. This was made. Gosh, when did she start doing it? She wasn't on the YouTubes right away. 7 months ago. Yep. So I'm surprised it doesn't say a day on there. Well, yeah. So it says 7 months ago.
Sometimes even in groups like these. But anyway, we are, and by we I mean myself and my children.
September. Oh yeah, Facebook. Yep.
Were Summer's immediate next door.
Biggest shuffler.
Were the property that JD was trespassing on. We are the ones that called the police that day.
You. We
are the ones that.
And why? I actually believe the letter when it says you called the police on him because you actually wanted to run him out because he was a witness. He was a potential witness for the plans that you were about to set forth for your revenge on Candace and Dawn, to get them the hell off of that hill like you wanted, you lying whore. And I'll say that because Dawn told me, and has she ever refuted it? Gavel? Tiffany? Anyone ever heard her refute what I said Dawn told me? Because I still haven't gone back. I know I've been saying it, but I've kind of been waiting for Dawn to get out because I do really think that unless Dawn is kept under lock and key like Candace has been, I think that there is a very, very good chance that one of the first people Dawn Wells will reach out to, it's going to be Benny Keys probably first. I think me, Benny Keys, and Tiffany Marie, probably Jody Sue. But yes, I think we are in the top several people that he will want to get a hold of immediately. So that's my opinion. So I've kind of waited on that, but you know, it doesn't, we'll wait and see because I have everything saved. So we will eventually do that. This woman is the biggest pile of trash I've seen in my life. If her lips are moving, she is lying. Fake victim, loser. She's forever the victim, Jody Sue. Yep.
Heard the scream, right?
Oh, yes, Tiffany. Trust me, if he reaches out to me, I'm telling him to talk to you 100%. And he will, because you're a gorgeous young female. And, you know, because let me tell you, It's very easy to hook, line, and sinker that man right there. You all witnessed it. He wasn't that hard to read and figure out this was my end to talk to him. Know what I'm saying?
And
Lady
just so
R.
there's no confusion and
Darzilla.
nobody can say that we are making things up.
You're making things up. It doesn't
Let me
matter what
see,
your
I don't
ID
know if that'll
says.
clear it up.
You're making things up.
Let me see here if it'll do it with. Anyway, oh, there it goes. There it goes. Yep. See,
Yep, there you are.
can hear.
Try to talk about tragedy pimps that she likes to bitch about. Did I? Hi, J Dub. I saw one of my other faves in here, and I forgot to say hi. No. Unique Trauma Obsessed. Hello. And Zoots in Boots. I just had to say that. Zoot and Boots. Zoots in Boots. Like it.
There you go. Anyway, that's the ID. That
Yay!
was her
Woo!
address until just a couple of days ago. And we're pretty grateful.
When Andy told you get the fuck off his land, you mean?
That it no longer is. As some of you know,
Just one second.
considering
I
some
want
of the
to
awesome
put this
people in this group
so
that
it
have
doesn't
sent
get damaged before I
encouraging
mail it out.
messages and well wishes and things that I'm gonna be honest with you have kind of kept the darkness at bay. Oh, I appreciate it. It's helped. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Also, before I go any further, because there was problems last time, I left comments, actually two issues, weeks ago, in an interview that, and look, I'm gonna have a hard time using the initials you all use, just because of medical issues, and I'm used to calling people by name.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try not to do that, but to make it easier on me, there's gonna be something that I just, and there's others I'm going to leave out because it's not my place to
What?
out them or tell their parts of the story.
Oh, it's not her place to out them or tell their parts of the story. Look at, we're halfway through this 10-minute video, damn near. Has it been about Summer? No.
Make it impossible for them to live their lives or to
It's
speak
all
for
about
them
Jody
and what they
Sue.
experienced.
Let me
and what they
explain
know.
this so that you'll
And so
understand.
there's going to be things that you see that I
no one understands.
do that with if they allow these to be.
Trailer Park Team, welcome to the Crazy Train. Choo choo! Thank you so much for becoming a member. I will be doing all my members will be entered in a giveaway. So we'll be doing 3 giveaways for Halloween. Oh, hey Quinny.
Shared. The group admins, that is. But before I start, I would just like to say one of the comments I left weeks ago after Candace and them had done an interview, and the screen was mentioned. We were kind of outed a little bit, and then
the scream was mentioned. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. Ronnie Lawson says unfounded scream, right? And she heard it, and apparently not like her describing this scream, y'all. For the ones who are newer and don't know Summer's case well, let me tell you, that whole story changes. Where she heard it changes. Now she heard it like 10 miles away and shit. Like people were in fucking Texas at Benny's and shit, and she heard the scream. Oh fuck, she's crazy. She is, like you said, if her lips are moving, she is lying. Now the scream from the letter, which I can actually believe, the scream, the unfounded scream, whatnot, could have been Candace actually screaming. Because she actually mentioned on probably, was it her first time down the driveway. So remember, Benny will say he witnessed hearing cops, and the cops say she left twice, right? Now that hasn't been put out there by law enforcement or anything like that, but she left the driveway twice. And yes, I fucking believe what Benny says. Benny Keys, Blood Many Benny Keys. Make sure you're subscribed to both channels if you're not. Make sure you're subscribed to Tiffany Marie too, for if you want more on Summer Wells if you're newer to this case. But yes, I believe when he says that. So when she left the first time, in passing, this bitch here who did not want the Wells living where they were living and has actually talked about she would harm children, even if she birthed the child and it had issues, that she would smother it with a pillow. Remember that? So she was told by Candace in passing that to her, Don Seylah Senior and Junior that Summer, they said, where is Summer in passing? And she said, in the basement playing with her toys. So, Bullhorn Betty, hey, gorgeous, I'm glad you got your power back. I know you must have been frustrated. And let me tell you, even I was like scrolling yesterday and I was kind of like, the feed is kind of lacking. So I know your peeps will be happy to have you back on your coffees. I know I am. Gemini Moon, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. And hi, Nikki Two Pulls. So yes, so in passing, and then when Candace came home, apparently is when she got back to the house and seen Summer was gone. She was calling Summer. She wasn't coming. So Candace went downstairs. Summer was gone. She was missing. And that's when Candace screamed bloody murder, to which she heard, which was the unfounded scream, in my opinion. I could actually believe that. Whether the letter's a theory or not, I think it's a pretty good theory. But apparently, and just so you know, the lady who wrote me the letter is in contact with me, and I will be interviewing her. And like she said, it was 2 backpackers. So like I said, I don't mind sharing it, whether it's a theory, whether it's legit. She is willing to video conversate with me. And she did say that I can record her. So we will do that. Any way to make money, whatever the fuck that means. Now, so Candace, apparently, remember, she left her driveway twice, loaded up the boys and then her mom, and went after, I guess, a red truck or something. I don't know, but loaded up. And that's when she left the second time, according to the letter. Don't know if that is true or not, but it's being said that's, when she left the second time was because she knew that she had been conned right there and went to quickly try and find her. I believe that's when she called Dawn. Candace called Dawn. Now, I don't know. Like I said, there's nothing new yet in the Summerwells' case, but this letter with the theories is at least a way to go through the letter and also tie Jody Sue's words. Does it make sense with the letter? LOL, Cher cracks me up. Well, good.
Immediately upon leaving a comment asking for my kids' privacy, people went,
oh, you want your kids' privacy? Okay, this dumb bitch. When are you going back there, Bullhorn?
And I mean, within seconds, had shared pictures of them. Even to my comment about, no, I don't.
Make
my
sense
children,
to you?
because of our situation right now, are going through enough.
Oh, she's going through enough.
I'd rather, and even if we weren't, I would rather they not, that nobody share their information or images.
Fuck you. Are you fucking kidding me? She made me squeak.
Also,
what
the other day when things were mentioned and I spoke up at all.
Bullhorn Betty, Canada has now dropped all COVID restrictions at the borders. You do not need no quarantining, no vaccines, no, nothing. So whenever you feel like crossing the border, little lady, and doing some Courtney Struble stuff, I'm down. I'll be down there, and bring your sleeping bag, pillows. We will find room for you. You don't even need to get a hotel, but let's go. Or I may just make it there to Tennessee. You don't know.
People mentioned my speech and accused me of being intoxicated.
Nice.
That's not the case.
Good to know,
I have
Bullhorn.
cancers, and I had, as you can see, a surgery.
Oh, here we go. The cancers. The surgery.
Trying to remove one of them that hemetastasized. We didn't get clear margins, things like that. Either way, as it stands, I was supposed to have begun radiation again, just I think the 20th of last month. However, they've decided that they're saving that back for the other cancers and things, so we're just kind of watching.
Oh, the other cancers, okay.
This one kind of do its thing.
So she's got all kinds of cancers, I guess.
But because of the situation and some other out of anybody's hands things, and then everything, I've been on thyroid meds for 5 or 6 months now, since well before summer had
Cool. So
Punxie
again,
went
this is
missing.
supposed to be about summer, but here we
And
are learning about all
it
her
makes,
cancers
when you're off of it
and
this
blah, blah,
long,
blah,
it
blah,
makes things
blah.
hard. My body doesn't function
I
correctly.
need new
My
headphones.
hands kind of lock up joints, things like that. But it does affect my speech patterns. It makes my mouth heavy, along with where the nerves were cutting here. It hits those centers. So sometimes it does sound, and the more stressed I get,
No, it
or
doesn't affect your
upset,
your
and lately, I'll be honest with you,
speech
that's been a
patterns,
lot.
your speech
And yesterday was
patterns,
not a good
ma'am.
day, so today it's a little
You
bit harder
have
for me to
dentures in
enunciate clearly
your front mouth.
enough
You
for
have
others to
partial
understand me or
dentures, which
not
is
think
no
I'm
shame.
intoxicated.
I have full out dentures. I
But I
love
promise
my
you I'm not.
dentures. It's
We
the
can
best
pick up any
smile I've
day.
ever had in my whole life since the
Anyway,
day I was born.
so yeah,
I know that the denture lisp,
but the thyroid meds and not having those for so long
it's
is
not
definitely
cancer.
affecting things. And so is our current situation. And
And can I just say, I want to give a shout out to somebody right now who is related to my sons. I can't if she would be my son's cousin down the line or aunt down the line. Her name is Susan, and I knew her for many years while I was with my son's father. And in fact, Susan had cancer so bad, she lost the use of one of her hands and arms. So it stayed in a sling at all times. Let me tell you, I actually for many years, a lot of us in that family did not know Susan had cancer. We had no idea she was in pain. We had no idea she had cancer. We knew something was up, but then, the family learned she had cancer. Let me tell you, we never heard that word from her mouth at any time. We never heard that lady complain about pain or speech at any time. And I'd like to take this moment, even though she has passed away, and just acknowledge what a strong woman Susan was and is. And she if anyone had any right to complain, it was that woman. She took care of her entire family, her husband, her grandkids, everything. She just not, you would never know if you met her that she was suffering. Okay. True survivor Susan was. And yeah.
So the stress is real. You'll hear me go back and forth with speech. I'll try to make sure that I enunciate as clearly as possible.
Hey, Jay.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop.
By the way, Jay, my dad really got a kick out of listening to you on the panel the other day.
This one here in a second, so I can ensure that these will load and share and things.
Freckles.
And aren't huge files. I just wanted to preface everything with that, so there was some clarification there. Sorry. And I guess here in a second, I'll start somewhere, excuse me, a little while before Summer went missing.
Your sister had same cancer, got thyroids removed, cured, no problems, no voice change. I bet she didn't complain every day too, 100 times a day. I bet. Cotton Candy investigates. Sorry, I'm still getting used to it.
A couple weeks before, because I think things that far out are important.
Victim vampire, I like that.
And my hopes for these are that maybe it helps keep attention on Summer.
Yes, Unique. Yes, that's exactly why. Yep. I hope she gets her other channel back. If she would have fought it, she would have won everyone. And in fact, Juan would be at risk of losing his channel, or in fact lost his channel. But there's something to be said about people not wanting, like I've gotten some strikes that I just didn't fight either, because you have to give your personal information. And Cotton Candy Boobs just wasn't willing to allow a monster to have, or a liar to have her information. So can't blame her. So she is starting new. Please drop your link, sis. I have to fix it in my description. I think it's your old one I have being shared. But yes, please make sure you're subbed up to her, because she's starting all new because of that. Check It TV liar, and she can't even get to her community posts just yet. Like I said, so she lost it all right now. She does have an attorney helping her. She did reach out to Juan personally and say, like, listen, I am going to fight this, and your channel will be at risk because there's a very good chance she can win that. And other people have won it, so I know that she could win it. And so yeah, please make sure you're sub. Let's get her channel back up to what it's at, because clearly when people want to silence someone who, she's a newer channel, first of all. However, she's not a new member of this community. She's been a pillar in this community for a very long time. So for him to want to take her down like that shows me she is on to something big, and her voice is super important in this case. So yeah, absolutely.
These groups and people looking for her as they're out and their eyes open, and that
Hey, vet
she's
girl.
not forgotten, because she matters.
Oh, she matters. She didn't matter in that video, in my opinion. She's just disgusting. All right, so that was video 1. I believe she's got 16 labeled Summer. Video 1. Did you guys learn a lot about Summer in that video? Did you guys get to know anything about Summer and Summer's case in the number 1 video by the neighbor who we should all be listening to and should be the only voice for Summer and the only person, remember the first words out of her mouth, that should be making money on Summer? Thumbs up if you learned anything from that video from Summer's neighbor about Summer. Please give me 2 thumbs down if you didn't learn shit, or if you couldn't understand that bitch of a neighbor who probably took Summer, or at least planned it. Not a... Summer who? Yep. J-Dub. Yeah. Yep. Now, since I know you'll watch this, Jody, take a look. Take a look. 587 people watching this right now, and I guarantee your bitch ass is one. Ain't nobody learned shit about Summer. And we got 15 more videos to go that's labeled Summer. Let's see how much they learn. Let's go to video 2. It's an extra minute longer than the first one. Let's see if Summer number 2 teaches y'all anything about Summer's case. Oh, that chat. That's pretty goddamn bad. That's pretty bad. Everybody's thumbs downing. Somebody's middle fingering. Yeah. Now, listen, they can be a lot of things, but what I don't want to call people is meth mouth, okay? Because I just can't go there. I don't want to talk shit about anybody's mouth. We can say what's coming out of their mouth is lies, but I don't want to call anyone a meth mouth. I just can't get behind that. I'm sorry. We could call her a bitch. We can say her mouth lies. We can say she does meth, but just we cross the line at meth mouth. You know, okay? I can't do that. Can we do a poll to see if Jody Sue Brown is guilty? I don't know how to do a poll while I'm live, but I will put that on my community post for sure.
Okay, so
round 2, y'all ready?
Like I said a second ago, I'm gonna try to start.
Her mouth settled debts. That's
Excuse
true.
me.
We can call her mouth a debt settler.
I'm going to try to start
yeah.
several weeks prior to Summer vanishing.
Risa, hey boo.
On this particular property we were on for years. Not long before Summer went missing, we found out just days before the sale that it was for sale. A piece of it, not that actual property. But there was no signs that went up. There was no anything to let us know that it had been placed
Here we
for
go
sale
back.
or
This is labeled summer, but here we go bitching about the whole property dispute bullshit again. Scott H, good to see you. We're starting at the beginning, brother.
realty sites, even though we were told later on that it had been, and that wasn't true. And we kind of know why it was to keep trouble down, because the area, if you know it, you know it. And that particular road is notorious for certain things. And that road is named for a family member.
No, we can't tap out. There's no tapping out. This is your personal hell, where I will talk like Tony Dodge. Oh shit! See what happens when you listen to this, bitch. You can't talk. It fucks with your brain.
Children's father's family. So it's named. Yeah. Anyway, and so we knew there hadn't been signs because a lot of his family lives on it further in.
I got cookies and cream puppy chow.
And then we did. So if you are, I'm getting a little lost here. Sorry, a little scattered. Everything
little
for me is
scattered.
kind of
We're getting up here.
So if you are looking at Candace's property, our driveways are across the road from each other, and
Annabelle,
a little corner, like hers is here and ours is here, but we can see each other.
I understand, Beverly.
And ours is worse than Candace has ever thought about, steeper and longer. That being said, the news pictures are a little deceiving in a way, because you can't really the perspective's not.
Now that I'm watching this again for probably the 200th time in 16, we're going on 16 months. We got about 12 days. 12 days. It's been 16 months. Am I mistaken? Watching it back now, I kind of sense some does she seem like worried a bit? You know what I'm saying? She's doing the coughing a lot and everything.
As remote from one another as it makes it look.
Hi, Barbara.
But yet we kind of are.
Just got on, but is she wearing a bra? Yes, she is. Or are you talking to me?
I have videos, pictures that can show you.
I'm wearing a crop top.
Anyway, contrary to popular belief, Candace and I, at least, we can hear and see one another from the top of our hill, even inside the house and inside of the cabin that was there. I can hear them, even in normal tones, on their hill. And when you come into the road, our properties, in particular, that property and Candace's property, are like, I don't know, almost like guards to the rest of the road, right? They're taller, they're higher. Everybody else is built kind of low and in the valley. So our property, y'all, I'm stuck with it for right now. I'm sure people will take exception. Either way, it might happen with the hour, whatever, and the swap off and on with that.
What property? You aren't stuck with shit. You have no property. The property were the Bernard's property. Andy's parents, Andy's property. Not your property, girlfriend. You're in a box. Out like on a road or some shit. I don't even fucking know, but use in a box. Okay, that property is not Jody Sue's.
It's only been days. For us that we were there, so it's hard. Anyway, we can hear one another. We can hear the children playing in the fall and when foliage. I mean, even when foliage is up, I can see some of hers. She can see some of mine. Winter, fall, we can see each other. And
you guys, I will be hosting a party. Cotton Candy Investigates is a Scentsy consultant. So I'm going to host a virtual Scentsy party. She's helping me figure that out and set it up. So once we do that, I'll go live and share that with you guys too. But yeah, super excited for her, by the way.
Perfectly. Like,
I can see you, Trinda. Welcome.
But other neighbors can't. Really.
Hi, Stephanie.
I can see down to others that I'm going to leave nameless, things like that. And I can hear them as well. The property, and like I said, it's hard for me because I don't speak in present, but it's like I said, it's been a whirlwind lately.
We are halfway through this video.
The property we were on until a few days ago, it picks up sound a little differently than just about everybody else in there. the way the hollow is shaped, the way the property is shaped. I can hear most of the hollow, and I can also hear the main road all the way out to a giant farm that's kind of near another point of interest.
I
These sounds are
got mini junior mints.
like it's right in your face in the yard at the top of the hill. Depends on. And anyway, so back to the property sale. We found out that it was the little piece, that JD and the whole thing there with the Ben Hill happened, the day before, that particular piece, is at the very end in a ridge line, sort of, it kind of goes between Candace's and the 125, sort of. It's attached to the 125. But when we found it for sale, what had happened was people started.
And remember, Candace did on Facebook post land for sale with sheds on it. Remember that? She posted that. That pissed her off. That started all of this big mess here. That's why Summer got gone. Mark my words, this bitch should be in prison. Like I said, there should be several people put away for this. Dawn and Candace and Grandis included, because they shouldn't have, like, they're all in on. When you keep your mouth shut when you know something too, and they are guilty of being shitty parents. They are both guilty of being abusive parents in their own ways, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Which is why everyone, right? Grandis is a mess and a half herself. So yeah, in fact, let me tell you that if there should be one area just blown up and taken off of the map altogether, off this globe, it's Beach Creek. It's Ben Hill Road, okay?
Up and asking if the house and the main property in this area, they're like, arguing. And at first we thought it was like thieves during the day and people doing like the metal stuff and, who knew what, right? Didn't take it seriously. They would ask, is, this one for sale? We're like, no. And so then had people arguing with us. It wasn't but a couple days before the actual sale happened. And then
I'm a fast talker.
There was strange people sitting at the very bottom at the bottom of the driveway for this property. Across the road, there's a spot, like a parking spot. And it's a great place to watch this property we're on, and straight up our driveway plus Candace's. And just sit there. But I could see it from.
These are the videos that I think Candace is actually there while she's doing this. I swear one of these videos, I think Candace is there. Do you remember back when these come out? I was like, somebody's there. And yeah, I do. Because I think she was kicked by, I really think Candace was there. And I've talked to Dawn about that too.
I took exception to that. There was all kinds of people sitting there for like an hour or two. And as most of you know online, there was a DCS situation next door.
And y'all can ask her, in fact, because Dawn never denied it to me. Next time, anyone who's been subscribed for 10 days, because she's that important and all, ask her. Did Candace stay for this whole entire shooting of the videos? How long was Candace there for? Because it was brought up. Dawn never denied it. He never answered it, so I don't know factually, but that would be my guess. It would be a guess I would actually bet money on as well.
And so, but it was so strange that, I think at that point I had messaged over and I was like, look, there are a car sitting here for hours because I didn't know what they were doing.
I remember.
And
Candace made the wrong friends, Dawn said. When he came home and saw his neighbors, which was her, out in the yard, he just knew Summer was gone. It was her. And Don Schaefer Jr. outside.
I don't know, always on this hyper alert, vigilant status, right? PTSD like crazy. So for the most part, the house remained quiet, at least in my area of it, the cabin, because the time I was going to cancer treatments and the radiation had to be separated, so anyway, and the cabin was a different angle than the house and other parts, so noises were different, things were different for me. Anyway,
oh, you're saying Jody Sue's a fast talker. I have her on 1.15 speed. We had to speed this bitch up because ain't nobody got time for that.
Very particular and all about not being bothered. So any little noise would bring me out, even on a regular day. But it was making me like, and so I messaged next door and I was like, are these like people for you? What's happening? They're like, no. And I was like, well, I don't know what this is, but this has got to stop. So, put tires in the way down there so people couldn't park there anymore, not long before, and during the period that we thought it was for, like when we were finding out, but didn't know yet that it was for sale. So anyway, somebody happened to come by.
We were
and had it pulled up
finding
on their
out,
phone,
didn't
like a
know it
Remax
was
or
for
one of those, and
sale.
we were
So
like,
she saw it on
"What?"
the
And so
Facebook.
we called the
Because
real.
remember, she was stalking Candace's Facebook because she ended up texting Candace, hey, I saw on your Facebook that y'all had a little girl. Congratulations and stuff like that, right? So Cher, speed this bitch up.
Place. I'm like, and they had it wrongly listed as the actual address here. That
I'm going to play a banger after this for
not
an
the piece
intermission,
and
okay?
parcel that was for sale. It's attached to it. So we called the realty office. We're like, what is happening? People are up here. You've got it wrongly listed all across the internet as. Hold on.
I called today the realtor, and guess what? He might let me record something with him. We will find out tomorrow. I wasn't going to say anything till tomorrow, but either way, I'm going to tell y'all what we discussed tomorrow, even if he doesn't let me record tomorrow. Be watching for it. Oh, this girl. All right, let's have some funsies for 1 minute. Sometimes we just need a little pick me up in between listening to that crazy bitch, right? Y'all ready? Here we go. Love it. Get it? Cornbread Mafia? Yeah, I had to. Now back to the depression. She's really the Eeyore of the case. Number 3. So, thumbs up. Did y'all learn anything from video 2 labeled Summer from Summer Wells's next door neighbor who said we should all only listen to her? Thumbs up, you learn anything? Thumbs down, you're still waiting to learn anything about summermoonutahwells from her neighbor. That's what I thought we were going to get. So let's jump into video 3, which is another 10 minutes and 17 seconds, labeled Summer.
And also looking at the Remax and, there were so many, especially out-of-state advertisements, because they're getting more money out of those in Hawkins right now, especially with people not even being able to view the properties in person. And yeah, so what had been done, I mean, it was almost laughable. We knew immediately there was going to be problems, because what had been done was when they came to take the photos, and those, if you live in a wooded area, you kind of know there's a sweet spot, especially for realty photos, that you can kind of make things blend. It goes, between like fall and winter, full on winter, or you take them in winter, like dead end, and then go into spring. It's, puffery for real estate. It's kind of what they do. You expect some of this, but this was pretty blatant, and some of the craziest I'd ever seen. Some of the most misleading. And what they had done was, I think there was like a series of, on some sites it was like 34, others had 44 pictures. They had absolutely trespassed and come all the way up to like where the house, cabin, things like that were, definitely not on a piece that was, up for sale. And had made it look like, to anybody that didn't know the area or couldn't come look in person, and I don't know, they'd advertised it as rolling hills, and it definitely is not. Like, but they had made Candace's and this property, because, I mean, and the road in between us kind of blends, right? So you can't even tell it's there in the photos. But they had made it look like it was one big continuous looking thing. Couldn't even tell the road was there. And you, in some of the photos, can see Candace's basement door just perfectly. So, anyway, they were definitely trespassing. Most of the photos weren't even of the property that was up for sale. What that piece actually is like the crust of the bank. I think the biggest spot on it really to build is like 60, 70 feet. and it is over a cliff. I don't know how you would manage it, even with unrestricted, just because of, waterways and ditches and the slope and the grade of the land, because even unrestricted doesn't mean, right? And then most of the actual physical property is like the whole 2 acres of it almost is like this, under where the barn sits for this property. You can't really access it. It's like a creek bed and straight up. I mean, you can't do anything with it. You couldn't build on it. You couldn't, even if you wanted to. It's basically just a cliff, and it goes straight down to the creek. It was definitely, and they sold it as is, where is. It was a whole thing. So, anyway, in those days that it was for sale, just a few, and I think we had finally, and they had to advertise all kinds of crazy stuff that wasn't actually available there, like high-speed internet and a different power company. I mean, it was wild. So, anyway, definitely wasn't worth what it was going for. I mean, somebody was getting robbed. That's the truth. But, so we knew when it sold, there was going to be issues, and, yeah. So for even before the sale finalized, until it finalized, there were still people coming and going to look at it. People coming through there, and there have been a lot of that lately, especially in the past year. For other properties up for sale, people looking because of the unrestricted land in Hawkins itself. So, and there was many properties up for sale. So there was all kinds of out-of-state people. That's most of what came for this particular piece. There was cars coming and going. The road itself, the things that happened leading up to Summer's disappearance, were a little crazy for all of us, because had these been average weeks and days, any of us could have told you what ant peed in the road. But it was like a perfect storm was created in a place where perfect storms never happen. Because for the most part, this is a place you don't come into unless you're invited. This is not a place you stop in for a picnic. This is not a place that, I mean, this is a place if you don't know it, you don't stop in it, and you don't stop after dark, and you're not, this is not, yeah. So, anyway, with very little traffic, I mean, any other day we could have told you everybody that had been on that road. But it started with these property sales, and then in particular with this property sale for the piece that JD eventually bought and did close on. So, even up until the time that he came, there was still people coming to look, hoping, I guess, that it would not close. And, yeah. I mean, most people that came to look at that piece, I mean, left. Like, it's, So, during those weeks, I was given the go-ahead by property owners, and you're going to hear me mention Baltimore here in that way, because I'm having trouble using the name because of our particular situation, and I mean, there's just something and when I say that, I mean the person I was with and their father. So I was given the go-ahead to try to track down the property lines, which was a little strange considering the things we've been through with the years and how. Anyway, so I tracked down the property lines. Most of these people, if you know the community, are kin in some form or other. Most have property maps dating back to 1800s. In particular, this family were some of the first settlers to Rogersville and Hawkins and Beach Creek itself. So, the deed that should go with that piece that was for sale that JD bought happened to be the survey map itself that had been done in 77. That goes with the deed that the last one made. Either way, it was in the closet. So, kind of knew where they're at, but I still measured off. Had surveyors come out, whole nine. And even in the cancer shape, I mean, like, I went and got it done, right? Found mistakes, made sure everything was lined up. Because there's a point of contention. And we knew that in itself would present an issue. So, that whoever showed up, that would be a problem area for the family that owns that. I did my research. And it, I'll get to that in the next part. However, so at that point, after it's started off, things are done. We just kind of wait for whoever's bought it to show up. And so the next one, I will try to get to JD.
Sorry, there's a few people texting about places. Okay, round 3, y'all. Go ahead. You know the drill. Thumbs up. Did you learn anything about summermoonutahwells, who went missing June 15th, 2021 at about 6:29 p.m. off of her property? And 2 thumbs down if you still, after video 3, which is about 34 minutes of Jody Sue Brown, the neighbor, the one and only who should be giving all the information and the only one that should be taken credibly, of Summerwells. Anything? Learn anything yet in the 35 minutes that she's been doing this? All right. Well, we're at 4:33. Let's see. I think I can get one more in. I may do a part 2 to this evening when we get home from running around, if you guys would want me to continue. No, nothing. Yeah. Yep, that's terrible. Let's do one more. And then, yeah, when I get home, be watching for me. We'll finish them up when I get home tonight. I'll get it all ready. Yeah, let's do number 4. I got time for that.
Sorry, guys. The more I talk, the harder it gets. The more I have to clear, the more tired my voice and face gets. And like I said, yesterday was a pretty hard day, so stressed. Anyway, so we think there might be problems because it takes JD a little longer than we thought to appear. However, during this period, I was pretty alert because, like I said, PTSD, hypervigilance, had it all, still do. However, not to the same degree. I realize now that those were things that were extremely magnified for me, and I thought for other reasons until our escape not long ago. So, anyway, so every noise, everything was kind of bringing me out to look at, to make sure of, vehicles, cars, checking on things, survey lines, for weeks, waiting on JD, who I didn't know at the time because obviously had no name, no way of getting, know anything until the transfer happened or until somebody showed up. So, like I said, there was still lots of traffic coming and going, people hoping it hadn't closed or that it wouldn't, or there would be pullouts or, that sort of thing. My PTSD and hypervigilance had been pushed into overdrive. And so I was paying more attention to the traffic and things. And honestly, before we get to JD, I think there's something, because I've seen it mentioned in the groups before, but it doesn't seem to be widespread. And I don't know, or I'm not sure why it's not mentioned more. But for several weeks leading up to, and even after summer had vanished, there were 2 crews working on a road, tree and mow crew and that sort of thing. But for a couple of weeks, they had kind of solely been on Candace and Donnie's property.
Hello, everybody.
We were looking at 3 places tonight. We got one at 5, 5:30, and 6.
Grinding it down like I've never, ever seen before in my life. Like tree stands, buildings, fences, fence posts, down to the nub. It was pretty wild. And I didn't realize how bad it was until the day we were searching for Summer. And how, it was, I'd never seen anything ground down like that. So it was like, what? But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But they had spent quite a while just working on Candace and Donnie's, and being over there on that piece. Yeah. And so they were in there for several weeks leading up to Summer's disappearance. And it wasn't just like a couple guys. This was dozens and dozens and dozens. It was personal vehicles. It was work equipment. It was chainsaws all day. They would cut out and the noise would stop around 3 p.m. every day. But it had all of our dogs kind of worn out and just overwhelmed between the traffic for the property sale and strange people and, then all this massive amount of heavy equipment noise. It just, everybody's dogs were tired of it. However, Candace's puppies and dogs are partially part of, I don't know, my dog is...
How do you not know? How do you not know? Oh, I don't know.
These dogs do bark like we've all said. I mean, they know us. They see us. I can go to the barn, and they would be like, la, 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 la. They could hear me come out of the cabin just a couple of feet and light up. Like, and they know us, but they still, I mean, they
doubt it.
look like
She's lying. No, she's
With the-
lying right now.
And then there's one, I had a particular name for her because, Lord, his particular bark. But anyway, you know, and we were around these dogs, and they would still light up. You know, they knew our noises, and it was still a constant. And they were less wear out than our dogs, so they were still barking. They were still kind of themselves. Either way, so for several weeks, these crews were in there. There were things I found, you know, a little odd. I mean, I've worked construction, I've worked all kinds of jobs, and as a female, you kind of know how life is, right? No biggie. We, you know how it is. We all kind of just. But there were several points where I was asked to stop and talk to these guys on my appointments and things, and let them know that if they had to cut timber when they got to this piece, that it was to be left laying, not to be cut, not to be taken, because there was already issues at that point with that stuff happening, and people were taking exception, especially to the price of lumber. And so I had some things happen there where, like, I had one of the radiation scans, and I was just wearing like a top like this and some stretch leggings and like a sports bra. That way I didn't have to be in like a gown and more uncomfortable, because for that particular scan, you were literally tied together like a turkey. It's not comfortable. So I was going out. I happened to catch, you know, what looked like supervisors and things early in the morning. Tell them that, but I had a couple pins accidentally drop several times in a row into a spot to where I'd have to lean over again. And the entire car was surrounded in ways that made me super uncomfortable, even though I'm not really the type to be uncomfortable around. So, that was happening for several weeks, like I said, on mostly and solely just Candace and Donnie's property. I mean, we were all, I mean, it's taken forever over there, but they literally did some of the clear cut over there and straight to the main road is one of the most, I don't know, things I've ever seen. So, then comes, and at this point, the foliage, I want you to keep in mind, is not as thick as what everybody saw on TV yet, and it really wasn't like that until just a day or two, even before summer vanished. It wasn't, I mean, I could still walk through the woods and see, and I could come out on the bank and visualize and see all the lines. I could still see Candace's house. And as the days after JD shows up and then summer vanishes and the searches and it's starting, it had a couple rains there and everything right before all that. So it just, you know, it immediately looked like it had been like that. And so noise carried differently. Things changed. It did make the searches harder. You know, I mean, it was out of control 10 days of summer vanishing. So it went from being able to step between trees and stuff just fine and being able to visually lay eyes on something to no longer having a line of sight because of how much the growth had exploded within just a very short time frame. So I'll get to JD.
Can't with her. You like, nah. You know the drill. Thumbs up. That was video 4 labeled summer. Still nothing? Did you get some? Did you get anything this time? Did you get a little? We could do like a thumbs up, thumbs down if maybe you got something. I think we got time for one more, like I said. And yeah, when we get back tonight, I will do the other half. So that was number 4. Okay. Does she have playlists? No, she doesn't. Okay. Well, so video 4, remember, all about summer. She's all about summer. The rest of us tragedy pimps and creators are just assholes, and how dare us even mention summer's name. And we don't care about summer. She does. All right. Okay. You can see that's how she started her YouTubes, right? Right out the bat. Let's do number 5 because there's 16 we got to get through. So we can get through number 5 here. That's about 10 minutes when it's sped up. Actually, you know what? We better not. I better get off of here. My dad's texting me. Dad says he's proud of me. Okay. So we left it. So when I get back, you will see I'm literally, let's do it right now. Look, that we're getting through the rest of these tonight. So I'm going to set it up for okay. I'm setting it up right now. So watch for it. I'm going to set it up for I think about 2 hours and maybe 2.5 hours from now. So we're going to go take a look at a couple places and get some dinner, and I'm coming back. We left it on video 4, so we'll pick up at video 5. I'll see you guys back in about 2.5 hours. Okay. I'll let them know you guys said hi, and maybe I'll bring back some pictures later, show you what we looked at. So watch for that, because as soon as I hang up here, I'm going to have that all ready. So be watching for it, and I'll see you guys in about 2 hours. Okay. And we'll get through the rest of those videos tonight. All right, y'all. Wish us luck. Love y'all. And don't forget, Life Coaching with ChəR is open. Livinglifewithcher at yahoo.com if you'd like the information on that. And again, I'm super excited because I've got 3 clients now. Ooh, ooh. And just in case Dad's watching, also, we love you, Dad. Yesterday was Dad's birthday. Or the other day was Dad's birthday. It's so bad that I don't know. He texted me the next day with like, yesterday was my 59th birthday. I was like, oh my God, I'm terrible. Like, I've got to put it on the calendar so I remember, because I never knew when my dad's birthday was. Thank you, guys. All right. Much love. I'll see you guys in 2 hours to finish this out. Okay. Love y'all.